Hello, thank you for joining me. I want to talk about 3 habits that kill negativity. What if I told you that the self-doubt that holds you back isn't real? For years, my mind was a battlefield. And my inner critic was whining. Every mistake was a catastrophe. He just puffed and puffed. I wasn't good enough. This constant negative feedback loop, it was exhausting. Research suggests that the average person has over 6,000 thoughts a day. Wow, a lot of thoughts. Imagine if a huge chunk of those thoughts are actively working against you. Our brains have a negativity bias. An old survival mechanism. It's gone haywire, hasn't it? It felt like a relentless circle of self-sabotage. And until I found 3 deceptively simple habits that changed everything. So, I used to live in a state of constant low-grade anxiety, bracing for disaster that never was going to happen. Do you feel like that? It turns out after I've read about this that I'm not alone, because lots of people feel that way. A staggering 91% of our worries, they don't ever come true. But my brain, it didn't get that memo. It didn't get that message. The criticism that I subjected myself to over and over, it was brutal. It was more brutal than anything anyone had ever said to me. I knew something had to give. 3 small, consistent habits. They didn't just help me. They transformed me. They silenced that inner critic for good. Habit number 1 that I'd love to talk about is the 180-degree flip. That is a habit that I call the 180-degree flip, and it's based on a therapy technique called cognitive reframing. It's the act the act of catching challenges and changing your negative thoughts. How does that work? Well, an example was years ago. If I received an email from somebody saying, "Oh, can we talk tomorrow?" my mind would just spiral into, "Oh my goodness, what's happened? What have I done? What are they going to tell me?" I thought the worst. But then I learned to stop and ask myself, are my thoughts 100% true? What would be a more realistic way for me to look at this? Could it be that my friend has to cancel something because of something that's come up? It wasn't my fault. It could have been something completely different. It could have been about something she'd bought, something that she wanted to try out. So it was my mind that was just going 10 to the dozen. It could be similar to receiving a message from a boss thinking, "Oh, he's going to fire me," and that's not it at all. So instead of panicking, then select constructive ideas. Habit number 2 was building a shield of gratitude. While being defensive is a flip side, then the next habit is about going on offence. I like to call it building a gratitude shield. Can you imagine that? It's the daily practice of looking for the good in your life. Constantly looking at the good. Because negativity thrives when we focus on what's wrong. Gratitude is the perfect antidote. The antidote. The science is clear about this. It says practicing gratitude, it can boost the production of dopamine and serotonin. These are the feel-good neurotransmitters in our brain. So I started small, writing down 3 things that I was grateful for. Why not get yourself a little book? Your affirmation book, your gratitude book. It could be that you are grateful for morning coffee, meeting friends, a good night's sleep. Actively doing this, your brain then scans for positives. It scans for positives instead of threats. The third loop is the kindness. This takes work, external creating kindness. This is really simple, a very simple practice. What we can do is small, intentional acts of kindness for others. You know, when you're stuck in that negative spiral then your world becomes very small indeed. Doing something kind for someone else makes you feel good, and it also shatters that self-obsession. Studies show that when you perform an act of kindness, it reduces anxiety. And if it reduces anxiety, then it boosts happiness. It creates a powerful, positive feedback loop. So, when you're kind, it can trigger the release of oxytocin. This is the bonding hormone. Makes you feel more connected. So, this proves that through action, that you are a positive force in the world. Doesn't that sound so much better? These 3 habits, the 180-degree flip, the gratitude shield, and the kindness loop. They weren't an overnight fix, no, but with consistency, they dismantled the prism of negativity. I built this prison of negativity for myself. So, which of these habits clicks with you the most? Share your story in the comments and let us know. Your experience might be exactly what someone else needs. And if they hear it and they read it, it can help them. So if you found this video helpful, please like. Maybe share it with a friend. And subscribe for more content. And this will build a more positive mind, and we'll have a little community where we can all help each other. Remember, your mind can be your worst enemy or your most powerful ally, and the choice comes down to the habits that we build. You have the power. You have the power to challenge your thoughts. You have the power to reframe them. And you have the power to build a new mental home based on strength, based on gratitude, and based on kindness. It's a process made of teeny steps. So just start with one. Start today. Have a lovely day.